guys, this is art class at home. I'm going to be doing short demonstration videos for you to be able to watch, and just like you were in art class at school, I'm going to give you a demonstration, show you some examples, we can talk about it, and then I'm going to give it off to you to do your own artwork. You can use whatever materials you have at home. Paint is fine, acrylic, tempera, watercolor. If you don't have paint, not a problem. Get out your crayons, get out your markers, colored pencils, really whatever mark making you have. Regular pencil is fine too. Though what I am going to be showing you is mostly things that we are going to do in color, with color. So think about that. If you are a little low on supplies or you'd like to get some new supplies, I'm telling you, now's a good time to, you can shop online through Michaels if you have one by your house or in your area. You can order it online, and they're doing curbside pickup, so you don't even need to go into the store. You can shop around online, see what you want. That's where I shop, is Michaels. I've been shopping there for years, one down the street from me. Loads of great supplies that are very reasonably priced. So check them out. You can also order through Amazon or any art store that is online. You can order supplies. So don't be afraid that you have to spend a lot of money. You don't. You can even get your art supplies, watercolors, sketchbooks, colored pencils, markers, things like that at your grocery store. A lot of grocery stores have, like Giant Eagle has a section of a lot of basic supplies, and another great place that actually might have a little bit more is like a pharmacy, like Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid. They're pretty good about having the watercolors and all that cool stuff. Very cheap. So if you don't have the supplies like we have at school, I really encourage you to try to get some more supplies, because we're going to be home for quite a while and we have the whole summer. So now's the time to maybe add into your supplies of art supplies. But whatever you have right now at home, fine. Whatever kind of paper you have, fine. It could be copy paper from the printer. Sketchbook paper is always great because it's going to be a little heavier. And I'm going to work a lot with that myself because I just happen to have it. I'll probably also be working with some canvas. You can get stretch canvases also online, or canvas boards. But I'll pretty much be working with paper just like you guys, okay? So to get us started off, this is my first video I'm doing for everybody. Right now we're in spring break, so hopefully everybody's taking a break and getting ready to finish off this last quarter, the end of school year. So what I do want to emphasize for art, for your assignments, is I did assign 3 assignments when we first left the school back in March. 3 art assignments. The first one, if you were K-3, was to do the shape search. The second was to do the virus research and drawing. And the third was to do the nature study, fill in the handout, and do a drawing with that. So you have some writing components and some drawing. So you have 3 assignments. Those all need to come to me either through Google Classroom or emailing, which I know K-3, you're emailing. So K-3, email it to me. If you are 4 to 8, Google Classroom, send them to me or email them. I prefer Google Classroom, but if that's not working for you, fine, email me. I need all 3 of those lessons. If you are from grades 1st through 8th, these will be what I'm going to be grading you on for 4th quarter. Kindergarten, keep doing your great work. I really hope you do all 3 assignments, but you are good. You do not need to turn them in to me for a grade. However, if you want to email me just to show me, or you've got an older brother and sister and you're doing it together, which is awesome, send it along. I'd love to see it, okay? So going forward, everybody will be turning in, if you're first grade through 8th, you'll be uploading your assignments, writing and art, and sending that out to me, either Google Classroom or email. I will grade them and put them in the book. If you know you sent it to me and you haven't seen it within about a week's time, please give me a little email. Make sure I didn't oversee you, okay? Because I am trying to do them except for during break, I'm doing this on a daily basis. When I see your artwork turned into me, I'm grading it and putting it right into FACS. So you should see it very soon. So please get those in. Those are going to be your grades for 4th quarter. So going forward, I'm going to be doing some videos for you guys, and hopefully we'll be doing some live streaming, some art lessons together. And these are for fun. These are to continue your growth in art, but I want them to be an enjoyment and fun for you. So they are not a requirement. You might watch one and not do the assignment, but just watch it, or you might watch it and do the assignment. I'd love to see your art. So if you are doing either a live stream with me, or you watch the video and do the art on your own, what I'd love for you to do, you could email it to me, but I would prefer you to share it so more people can see it. And I've set up in the parent Facebook page of St. Rita, there is an album in there called Student Artwork K through 8th. And that's where I would love for you to share your work. And that way we can all see it, we can make comments and say how beautiful and wonderful it is, and everybody can see it that way. It makes it easy for me to and I get a notice and I can see it. So I'd love for you to upload your artwork and show it to me, as well as everybody else. Do you have to? No. It's totally up to you if you'd like to share your work. So we're going to start with our first demonstration today. Mostly what I'm going to try to do is, you know what, I'm going to step back. I'm going to say I forgot one thing, and that's going back to grading. I didn't really talk about 4th through 8th. 4th through 8th, you also have 3 assignments. The first one was the household object drawing. And then your second and third was the same as the other grades, which was the second was the virus research and filling out that little paperwork and doing a virus illustration. And the third was the nature study, taking you outdoors and filling that paperwork out and doing a drawing for that. So you have writing components as well for lessons 2 and 3. And drawing lessons for 1, 2, and 3. So please get those in. I've got about half the school who, before spring break, are done. They've completed their writing and their artwork and sent it in to me. So for all of you who have done that, thank you, thank you. And I know there's some people who are working right before break, so very good. And so for the rest of you, keep on working. Try to get it into me as soon as you can so we can have you done. But those 3 assignments will be for your 4th quarter. So if you've done it, awesome, you're there. And the rest of this is just going to be for fun, okay? Watch these at any time and do the art whenever you feel like it. All right, so the first assignment we're going to work on today is really fun. It's good for if you are 5 or you are 55 or older. So it can expand. You can make this as simple or as more complicated as you like. And this is called ABC Design. And great practice for my young artists who are still working on their handwriting. Perfect time to be practicing our alphabet. And for those of you who definitely know your alphabet, this is a great assignment when you don't know what the heck you want to do, and maybe you're feeling a little anxious, could be feeling a little bored and just want something that's relaxing. You can be very creative. And just kind of what I say about this lesson, you let it grow. It's just going to grow. You're not trying to design anything. You're not trying to do a picture, and it's a flow, all right? So we are going to be using the alphabet. Any letters you'd like. You could be repeating letters. You can use the letters out of your name, your first, your last name, maybe your nickname, name of your school, St. Rita's School, obviously. Maybe you would like to start with a word or intention that you'd like to put out. And not that we're going to be able to read that word when it's done. This is not intended for us to read it, but it's almost like imbued. So maybe I want to put out peace or love, or I'm feeling gratitude. So I would think about those letters, and let's say I want to start with gratitude. I'd start with G, and then R, and then A. And you would kind of imbue your artwork with gratitude. And as you begin to then write this, draw it, color it, you can be thinking about things that you're grateful for right now. Maybe you were thinking about a special person, maybe somebody that you're missing right now. So maybe you want to write their name. So very, very open, but we are working with the letters of the alphabet. Okay, so here's what we're going to start with. So here is what I did. Actually, I think that might be upside. There is no upside down. It could go this way. It could go that way. There really is no up, down. You decide in the end what's going to be your top, what's going to be your bottom. Hopefully, as you are working on this, I'll zoom in, that you are turning it and working it. So you don't just keep it this way. Now, I'm just showing you the example of a finished piece. Yours will look very, very different from mine. So unfortunately, this had a little bit of an accident happen to it. I painted this in watercolor, and I was very mindful that I wanted the colors to be bright and strong, and so that's the way I painted it. Watercolor can get really pastel and washed out if you have too much water in it. So I made sure that I had enough paint, and I painted so it'd be nice and bright so you could see it. Unfortunately, one of my cats was in a mood last night, and I'll show you how much water she dumped on it. This container right here, full of water, and she decided it might be fun to see how those colors mix when you pour all that water onto the painting. So I let it dry because there really wasn't anything I could do about it. And then this morning when I looked at it, a lot of my colors had mixed, which sometimes can be good, but often the mixed and they got muddy or they got too washed out, what I was trying to avoid when I painted it. So it wasn't that great looking. So what I did to brighten it back up is I used chalk pastels like this. And I just try to keep the colors that I had originally, and I chalked back over this. So now this was first watercolored, now in chalk. So these things happen. But you can work in, as well, watercolor, paint, chalk, pastel, oil pastels work great, crayons, markers, anything really works fine for this lesson. I outlined it with a Sharpie, grab it, worked with a Sharpie, and then colored it. Here's an example of one I didn't color, but as you can see, instead of color, I used little kind of like patterns and shapes repeating a line, wavy line, zigzag line, diagonal lines, little kind of circles, swirl lines, different kinds of lines. And then I could, if I'd like, I could with a colored pencil or a marker, I could really go and get some detail and color each section and make that really interesting too. Or you can leave it black and white. So I'm going to pause now because I'm going to set this up. I'm going to show you how to do it and let you go. All right, see you in a moment.